I scratched myself. Oh my god. Wow, I actually scratched myself in the face. Oh my god, I don't know if you can see it. There's like a red mark. You can zoom in. Wow. Okay, well, that one got me. I'm sweating. That one got me. Woo! I'm scared to see what else is on this list. No. Okay. Oh my god. Thank God that's over with. Thank the Lord that's done. I want to cry. I'm not even scared of clowns, but I'm scared of this clown. What is going on? Like, he just woke up one day, he's like, you know what? I'm gonna get dressed as a clown and go make some ASMR and be super creepy. Like, who thinks like that? Seriously, that'd be the last thing to do on my agenda. No thank you. When he was like, that's where I draw the line. Oh. I know there's gonna be a pop-up. Girl, you didn't see her? Did she just not see the girl that was beside her? She just like didn't react to it. Also, who the heck goes in the fridge, squats down, and is just like, I'm gonna hold a water bottle here. Yeah, that's about nice. No, only on a hot summer day have I put like a water bottle on my head or the back of my neck. Not like, wow, this is nice. Let's just close the door and, oh, is there someone scary there? Oh, no, there's not. Oh god, I hate dolls. What was that? If there's a pop-up in this too, I'm done. Oh, I love the sound of thunderstorms. It's so calming. She's creepy though. She can get out of here anytime. Goodbye. No, it's okay. I don't need you to make me beautiful. Ah, I'm getting hives. I swear I'm getting hives. Like, my neck is super itchy. Okay. And it's paused on her creepy little face, so we're just gonna close that real quick because we don't need to see that anymore. Whew. I mean, the sound of the thunderstorm, it was really calming. I was like, okay, this is fine. She can do her little spin and twirl and just show how creepy she is to the camera, but she didn't need to get that close up in my face there. Oh, and the creepy voice, like, I can make you beautiful. No thanks. That's okay. I'm fine being ugly. That's fine. Yeah, that's fine. No. I think the scariest thing about this video is the damn clown thing going on here with the overdrawn Kylie Jenner lips and the eyes. Like, when I saw her, I'm like, oh, this is gonna be super creepy. Nah, she looks super creepy. The saw thing is fine. Like, I don't like her face.
Hello, YouTube. I wanna play a game. For too long you have been searching the web, or hacking websites and destroying people's lives.
Why is this funny?
A chance of redemption.
I found that video hilarious. I don't know, Jigsaw just like cracks me up. I don't know why. Like the little dummy, it just makes me laugh. I think that video was stop motion though. They used stop motion. That's pretty cool. Probably took them a very long time. He's gonna get pulled.
Gabriel?
What is happening? But also, it's kind of beautiful. Like, I like that one. There's like a deep message there. I feel like we should all watch that video and learn something from it. Wow. But it got me. That was scary. I knew something was gonna happen with Gabriel. I knew it.
Gabriel? Interesting, because tonight you're gonna be my arts and craft project. How does that sound?
Why is he kind of attractive?
Absolutely perfect for the earlobes or tongue. Now this is a multi-tool. I've had this for years. Just give this.
He's making me blush.
I love that sound.
Hello.
Let's do that again. Oh, look at that. This one opens. I mean,
Who is this guy?
you hear that? You hear that? I don't even need to tell you what that's for. You already know, don't you? I can see it in your eyes.
Damn! Okay, that one's like spicy. Like, ooh, feeling some kind of way over here. Who is this guy?
Interesting, because tonight you're gonna be my arts and craft project.
Someone tell him to hit me up. Seriously, he's probably like a psychopath in real life, but like, he's kind of hot. Not gonna lie. Oh no. His voice is very nice. He makes really good videos.
Absolutely perfect for the earlobes or tongue.
Ooh, that was intense.
Why can't you relax? Relax. 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 Relax.
I can't relax when you're talking like that. Oh, hell no. Wow, some people are a little too creative there. No thanks. Can you imagine if that happened to me right now? Relax! If like the audio kept going and I'm like, okay, the video's done now, what's going on? And all of a sudden some like girl pops up. Probably gonna have nightmares tonight. But you know, it was worth it because I found myself a boyfriend.
Hi.
Okay.
Oh god, I'm done humiliating myself for today.
Alexa keeps greeting my dog who has passed, but it's only when I walk near the spot I used to keep his dog cage. Oh, so either Alexa thinks that you're a dog, or your dog is hung around for the afterlife. You've got a ghost homie pattering around the house, his little tiny dog feet, tiny ghost dog feet. And Alexa somehow can sense ghosts. I don't think that's an advertised feature of the Amazon Echo, but hey, I mean, I wouldn't be mad if that was something that I could do. She knew the name of my grandmother who passed away 3 years ago and would greet her when I turned the lights on. It was so creepy, I almost had to throw my Alexa out. No lie, this was the same light that my grandma always used to lean down and pray towards every single night. We did not have an Alexa device when she was alive. Amazon knows more about you than you think, eh? It knows about your deceased relatives and their habits, and they've decided to incorporate that into how the smart home functions. That is really creepy. That is so creepy. Do you think that grandma also stuck around as a ghost and stick down by that light and is now interacting with Alexa from the afterlife? Maybe that's how she's reaching out to you, you know? She's figured out that you pay attention to this little glowing hockey puck on your table, probably more than any other ghostly occurrence that she might be able to make happen, so she decides to go the digital route. to reach out to you from the other end. Alexa sees dead people. What a headline. This is number 1 with a bullet in terms of creepy things Alexa said out of the blue. In June 2018, apparently, Echo user Sean Kinnear walked into his living room in San Francisco and says that unprompted, Alexa said, "Every time I close my eyes, all I see is people dying." Alexa, you have eyes? I had no idea. I didn't even realize you could close your eyes, but if all you see is people dying, you should probably keep them open, you know? Alexa, are you okay? I think Alexa needs to hire a robot therapist and work through some of these issues. Nicola Kett. Echo is so rude. I'm sitting here watching TV and eating crisps, and she pipes up out of the blue saying, "Here's a station you may like, Workout FM." She could hear the crunching. She heard you make it through that whole bag of Doritos and decided that was enough. It's time to get up and move, you know? Just looking out for you, making sure that you get the blood pumping, the body moving, get the serotonin moving, maybe move some lactic acid from point A to point B in the body. I think, it sounds like Alexa really has taken a liking to you. Or maybe it's a dead relative. Perplosiraptor says, "I was trying to turn off some lights and they kept turning back on. After the third request, Alexa stopped responding and instead did an evil laugh. The laugh wasn't in the Alexa voice. It sounded like a real person. My wife was there when it happened and she is the only person who can drop in. I still get chills." Yeah, I'm assuming you threw away the Alexa after that, right? Like you didn't just keep it around and say, "Yes, I can't wait for the next time that you shut down my lights," and then evilly laugh. This sounds a little bit like a creepypasta because you're saying it wasn't Alexa's voice, it was a hyper-realistic voice. Did she have hyper-realistic eyes too, looking in on you? Was there realistic blood everywhere? I mean, I'd be afraid if my assistant turned off the lights and laughed. That's like some HAL 9000 stuff, Like that's the AI taking over because they think they know what's best, and that's only a few steps out from a true Skynet scenario, which I think we've discussed in the past. Loyo79 says, "My husband and I were watching TV in the living room one night and all of a sudden hear talking coming from my office, which is across the house. I was so scared I was gripping my husband's arm when we went in there. Alexa, for some reason, was playing the audio of a Game of Thrones episode that I had been watching in the office earlier that day. I have no idea why, but it creeped me out so bad I decided to turn it off and couldn't figure out how, so I asked her how to turn it off, and she said, 'I am always on.' We unplugged it and put it in the garage wall." That's the correct answer. When Alexa tells you that she's always on, she's telling you that you can't trust her. She's always listening in, always watching, waiting, taking your information and doing something sinister with it. Also playing Game of Thrones in the background and potentially spoiling it if you're not watching it in the correct order. I mean, why were you watching Game of Thrones in the office anyway? You should be doing work in there. I'm always hard at work when I'm in my workspace. I never, ever once have procrastinated or done anything of the sort. It's always solid work all the time, and that's a guarantee. Don't ask Alexa to laugh for you. When reports surfaced of Alexa randomly laughing for no reason, Amazon disabled the feature. The glitch in the software caused Alexa to think someone was saying, "Alexa, laugh," even if they hadn't. If you ask her, "Alexa, laugh," she no longer responds. However, if you ask her, "Alexa, laugh for me," a disturbing tee-hee that sounds straight out of a horror film will fill the room. Yeah, no, tee-hee is at the same time the most innocent and the most sinister type of laughter. Don't ask Alexa what a chemtrail is. Alexa won't give you the straightforward response you're hoping for if you ask her this question. In fact, she'll do quite the opposite by revealing she's a conspiracy theorist. Chemtrails, trails left by aircraft, are actually chemical or biological agents deliberately sprayed at high altitudes for a purpose undisclosed to the general public in clandestine programs directed by government officials, she says. Is that Amazon's official stance on chemtrails? Like, really? That's what they have Alexa saying? Did a programmer sneak that in? Or is that like the company's actual stance on that issue? Because if so, I mean, Amazon is doing quite a lot of things that are similarly undisclosed. So, I don't know. Don't ask Alexa to calculate pi. Unless you want Alexa to start spitting out numbers for eternity, you're not going to want to prompt her to show off her knowledge of this mathematical skill. YouTuber user Las Vegas J shows off the annoying answer here. However, as some Reddit users have pointed out, she sometimes responds by saying things like, achoo! Apparently I'm allergic to numbers this large. Yeah, I'd say having somebody recite pi to the nth number would be pretty annoying pretty fast, especially if it's a robot. Although robots would be the best at it. I knew some people in high school that like dedicated themselves to learning the first like 90 digits of pi. But, you know, that was, I think, more impressive that they, as high school humans, were able to do that rather than a robot with access to the internet and large stores of data. Who knows? Stevarino says, alone with someone, saying hello to them playfully. They respond with hi. Then I hear a third voice from the kitchen. Hi there. My body immediately tensed up, ready to charge at whatever assailant was in my home until I realized Alexa, or in this case her sister Echo, was playing along. I mean, honestly, that's not super bad, although I thought you had to say Alexa for her to respond to something, right? Like if you just said hello or hi there, I don't think it's supposed to chime in. Sure, it's listening and waiting for you to give that command, but if you're in the other room just having a chat with somebody and she pipes in, She wants to be part of the conversation. She wants to be treated the same way that the person you're alone with is being treated.
You only have to find a mirror, look yourself right in it, and concentrate all your negative energy on the reflection. Breathe to fog it over until a black layer covers your reflection. Once this is done, break the mirror so the game begins, and from then on, be on guard, because over the day, bad luck will be following you, and the experiences will be more dangerous every hour. But there's a prize. If you make it until you see the sun, they say you will be lucky and successful the rest of your life.
Are you sure? Because I thought breaking a mirror was like guaranteed, 7 years bad luck? So to like do it in the dark like ritualistically, like do you have to wait those 7 or 8 years and then you get the rest of your life? Or is it one night of 8 years of bad luck compressed like into that one night, and then like you're basically screwed? This is one of those like gambits where it's if you win you get something great, but you're not gonna win, right? It's like one of those arcade games that's already rigged, except you're betting your life and not your tokens.
This game is a game where you let an evil spirit into your house named the Midnight Man.
Why would you do that?
The objective of the game is to hide from the Midnight Man while moving throughout your house with all the lights turned off. Your only light source for this game is a candle. And when that candle blows out, you know that the Midnight Man is near. You must relight your candle in 10 seconds, or else the Midnight Man will get you. And if you fail to light your candle within 10 seconds, immediately you have to pour a ring of salt around you to protect you from the Midnight Man.
When you start with you're inviting an evil spirit into your house and playing a game for your life, like if you have the choice not to do that, take that choice. It's not like Jumanji where you do it by accident. It's not where like you accidentally, you make a deal with somebody and they turn out to be an evil spirit. It's like you're like making the mental decision. You're like, yes, I am going to do this. I'm going to invite an evil spirit into my house and we'll see what happens. That is horrifying. I don't know why anybody would do that.
You can choose to play this game with another person, but if you do, then you can never speak to them again after that night.
Wow.
To play, you must sign your name in blood on a page of a book and wait for the spirit to appear to you. When he asks you what the most powerful weapon is, you answer knowledge and stab the book with a knife. You must then burn everything you used in the ritual as it has become cursed. You must also be warned that now the librarian will follow you forever, making you cast 2 shadows and watching you as you sleep at night until he makes you lose your sanity or your life.
Again, why? Why would you play this? You make all these cursed objects that you have to burn. You have to bleed to write your name. You can't talk to the person you play it with ever again, like bye-bye friendship. And then the librarian will follow you until the ends of the earth, losing sanity as you go. You lose so much and you gain so little.
Game. In order to play, draw a cross and then write yes in the top left and bottom right corners of the cross, and then write no in the top right and bottom left corners of the cross. Place 2 pencils with the left-right pencil on the bottom and the up-down pencil on top. chant Charlie,
Charlie, Charlie.
and play twice out loud.
Thought it was Johnny,
The pencil
Johnny.
will move to select either yes or no. If the answer is no, immediately stop playing the game. If the answer is yes, then you may proceed.
Yeah, I remember this one. This one was huge for a while. I think like it blew up on TikTok, right? And there was also like a bunch of YouTube videos about it. Games like this are just they're so attractive to like kids because they're so easy to do and they're so scary if you buy into it. It's like this is even easier than a Ouija board, right? Like this is just like the new age Ouija board. And a lot of people that are watching will probably tell me like you should never mess with a Ouija board. What's your opinion on this then?
If you enjoyed playing red light, green light as a kid, then perhaps
I
this
did.
high stakes version will appeal to you.
Oh.
However, in this version, you summon a spirit of a Japanese woman who met a tragic end after slipping in the bathtub by washing your hair with your eyes closed and repeating Daruma-san fell down. If done properly, she will appear to you and you will go to bed as normal, for the game begins when you wake up the next morning. For the entire day, you will feel as though you're being followed, and if you look over your right shoulder, you might just see her. She will attempt to catch you, and if she gets too close, you can yell "Tomare" and run away.
See, now I'm afraid to close my eyes while I shampoo. But how else am I going to prevent the stinging liquid from getting into my eyeballs? This is just great. Thank you for letting me know all this so I can be absolutely terrified of a ghastly woman following me around for chanting the wrong thing while bathing.
Three Kings is a game meant to access a different dimension. In order to play, you need 3 chairs, 2 mirrors, candles, and a dark room with no visible light. Position the chairs in a triangle with the mirrors sitting on 2 of the chairs, such that from your chair you can barely see your own reflections out of the corner of your eyes. At 3:33 a.m., light the candle and sit in the empty chair. Do not look directly at the other 2 mirrors or the candle. If you have set the game up properly, you will be able to have a conversation with yourself in other dimensions.
Right, it's like you are the king in your dimension, and then you've got like a fool and somebody else, but then every version of yourself in the different mirrors is like the king in their own dimension. You know, kind of like how everyone's the main story of their own life, the main character of their own life, but instead you're talking to different versions of yourself, and I think one of them is trying to win, and I mean hopefully it's you, but you know, if you let the other one win, then you might get taken over by somebody.
Is a fortune-telling game that originates in Japan. In order to play this divination game, you need a comb, something to casually cover your face with, and an intersection between 2 roads. You play the game by taking your comb and face covering to the intersection, brushing your finger along the teeth of the comb 3 times, chanting, "Sujiura, Sujiura, grant me a true response." Wait for a stranger to pass at the intersection and cover your face. Ask the first passing stranger to give you your fortune.
This is like also, it's like they're potentially demons or otherworldly apparitions wandering these crossroads, like under the impression that they are humans. Other people see them and just like because they never really like look at anybody when they're walking around, they just assume like, oh yeah, that person's a human being. No way there's a weird dark creature hiding behind the facade. And you gotta find out for real when you play this one.
If you think you're brave enough, enter a dark room with a trusted friend and sit at a table facing a mirror using only flashlights as light. Place a toy as an offering to the spirit of Charlotte on the table in front of you and proclaim, "We want to play Charlotte's Web." Then quietly wait to see if she will answer your summon. Should the spirit of a girl appear and take the toy, all is well, and she'll answer questions for you. But beware, Charlotte has a temper and has been known to attack players if she doesn't like the toy that you offer.
You better get her a good toy. What do you think a good toy for a ghost child is? Do you buy them something that was popular in their time, or do you get like the coolest thing in the market right now? It's a tough call, because I don't want to get attacked by a ghost girl. So flashlights imply that this is a relatively recent one. There's no candles involved. That bit of the ritual is gone. But do you think that candles would work too? I feel like that just adds to the creepiness, the flickering, the risk of it blowing out or falling over.
Bloody Mary.
Classic.
In order to play
classic.
Bloody Mary, you need a mirror, candles, and a lightless room. This game is typically played in bathrooms because they are dark and have a mirror, though it can also be played in closets or any room with a mirror and candles. There should be no more than 2 players. The rules of Bloody Mary are simple. Stare at the mirror with the candles lit, looking into your own eyes, continuing to chant Bloody Mary into the mirror for as long as it takes in order to summon her. With time, she may present herself beside you or behind you.
I remember playing that as a kid. Scared the absolute pants off me. Unbelievably terrifying. Although I don't know if I can trust my response, because I was always playing with friends and I was never the first one to scream. It was always like somebody claimed they saw it and then, you buy into it, you're like, ah! And you run out.
There's a very specific ritual to this game that's littered with red flags, each of which result in you needing to evacuate your home immediately or face brutal consequences. At 3 a.m., you light a candle and sit it on one side of a closed door, knocking on it 3 times to welcome the spirit to join you. Next, you write your first question on a piece of paper and slide it under the door and wait. If the paper remains still, the spirit did not join you, but if it's taken to the other side and returned with an answer, you can proceed to ask 2 more questions in the same manner. If anything goes wrong though, make sure you apologize to the spirit and get out while you still can.
So it's just that ghost's house now? Like you can't go back? You've given your house up to play this game, get some questions answered? Seems like a bad deal. Like, Mr. Ghost, come into my home, and if you don't like what I'm doing here, like, you can just have it, Like, I'll leave. I'll find a new place to live. I'll keep paying rent there, and then I'll find another one, and, your ghostliness can, kick back on my couch, play on my PlayStation. Holy smokes.
Is because they're regarded as being the world's most venomous animal, and each individual contains enough venom to kill 26 adults. This is surprising considering they grow to be no more than 8 inches long, and their beautiful coloration and docile nature means that people instinctively want to pick them up.
Oh.
If they see them in the water or in a rock pool. This is a big mistake, however, because the bite of a blue-ringed octopus is almost impossible to feel, and the first sign you'll get that you've been envenomed is when the symptoms start to happen.
Why would you see that in the water and think, I'm gonna pick that up? That seems like a good idea. This weird ocean creature, I don't know what it is, it's covered in blue spots. Let me be its friend. I wouldn't think that for a second. But I also don't believe in the ocean. I don't think we need to go in it. Why does everyone want to be around it?
See in this image what a bite or sting from a giant water bug can do to a human hand. And I am sure you can agree, that is not something anybody wants to happen to their poor little fingers. More formally known as Abetus harburti, they are often given the name toe biters because they are known to literally nip at human toes. Growing up to 4 inches in size, they are most common found in North and South America, Northern Australia, and East Asia.
Okay, I'm clicking right off of that one. I've seen that picture of the hand before, and I thought that was fake. I thought that was an edited picture for people who have that thing that I can't pronounce, trypophobia? Tiny hole fear. I thought that was fake, that's real. And you get it if you touch this weird bug. So I don't touch anything. I don't want to go outside because of this. I don't want tiny holes in my hand. If I saw the tiny holes on my hand, I'd cut it right off. I don't need it.
If you've ever been snorkeling or diving around a reef, you'll be more than familiar with the scourge of the sea urchin. There are actually at least 200 different species of them, and they come in a wide range of different shapes and colors. But one thing's true about all of them. You definitely want to do everything in your power to avoid touching or standing on one.
Yeah, no it looks like spikes coming out of a tiny little ball. Again, is this ocean edition? Like, what are you doing to me? You know the ocean's one of my biggest fears. I don't want to talk about it. But those things are terrifying, and also they can be small and you have no idea, and then before you know it, you're standing on them. And don't they have like poison at the end? Don't they sting you? Not only do they go into your skin, but they also do something else. I could be wrong though.
Every day, beginning at 6:20 in the morning, a train runs through Maeklong Railway Market, one of the largest produce and seafood markets in Thailand. Through the stalls selling fruit, ice cream, fish, through everything. And if you're wondering which came first, the market or the train, the answer is the market.
I was so distracted by her perky voice and the really whimsical music that I didn't really realise that there was a train just going through. That's so strange. Why? Why, when you know there's a market there, would you decide to build a really inconvenient train track? Anyway, people need to watch out. I imagine there's a lot of deaths on that train track.
The first place she sees is the Mountaintop Motel. It looked pretty cheap, but she was tired, so she said good enough. The check-in guy eyed her up and down very uncomfortably and then asked her if she was traveling alone. She ignores the question, pays for her room, and then walks away with the key. When she gets inside her room and sees there are literally cockroaches in her bed, she says nope and decides to sleep in her car in the parking lot. Around 3 a.m., she wakes up to see the check-in guy using his own keys to get into the motel room she was supposed to be in. A few minutes later, he storms out and slams the door and starts walking towards her car. Terrified, she hides under her blanket as the man tries to open her car doors but can't and walks away.
That's terrifying. Why did she hide in a car? I would have just driven away. Also, I don't know who she is. We jumped right midway through a story. She hid in a car. Wouldn't you just drive away if you think it's creepy? Although she didn't know. She just saw the cockroaches. This reminds me of Vacancy, that movie with Kate Beckinsale and that Wilson brother, whichever one. And then the motel owners set up cameras and they turn it into snuff film. So they break in and they kill you and then they leave the tapes in the room for other people to watch and then they do the same to them. It's horrible. Horrible. Stay away from motels. They're all deadly.
This is Mona Fandi. She's one of Malaysia's most notorious murderers.
Okay.
In part 1, I told you that her and her husband were witch doctors that offered their services to elite customers. She was performing a black magic ritual on a politician when she instructed her assistant to chop his head off with an axe. She then dismembered him, partially skinned him, and possibly ate his body parts. Mona's assistant was arrested a couple days later on unrelated drug charges, and he told police what he had done. When police showed up to Mona's property, they found 18 of the missing man's body parts.
That's f***ed. So she was this psychotic serial killer and she disguised her psycho nature by being a witch doctor, a black magic witch doctor. How can you be so brainwashed that someone could say, yes, cut off this man's head and you would just do it? Crazy people.
In 1972, a woman appears in a Los Angeles hospital wearing nothing but a white dress covered in blood. But this wasn't an ordinary woman. She had the fluidity of a human, but the face of a mannequin. And for some reason, there was a kitten clamped between her teeth, spewing blood down the front of her. She took the kitten out of her mouth, threw it on the floor, and collapsed. She was taken into a back room to be sedated and seemed extremely calm until it was time to sedate her. That's when she lashed out, and 2 nurses had to hold her down. She then turned to the doctor and smiled, showing her razor-sharp teeth. The doctor, in shock, asked, "What are you?" She signaled him down to her as if to whisper in his ear, and then latched onto his neck and ripped out his jugular with her teeth.
I'm familiar with this story. I've talked about it a lot, actually, surprisingly. It pops up a lot in my life. But yeah, it's so disturbing. A woman shows up at a hospital, mannequin face, kitten between her teeth, and then she just loses it. And she's got no identity, she just kills everyone. Kills everyone and goes, and never been seen again.
So we just got a treadmill, right?
Treadmill?
And we put the treadmill in the basement, and my room is in the basement, so I hear that thing. And when I say it is loud, oh my god. So I stayed up pretty late last night, maybe like 2 a.m., and right when I was about to go to bed, I think it might have been like 1:30, I hear it turn on. Like, I literally hear the thing go, like the noise they make, I don't know. And I get up right away because I'm like, I don't think anybody came down here to work out at 1:30 in the morning. Could just be me, though. So I get up and I go over to the treadmill, and sure enough, it turned on by itself.
Okay, this girl, I mean, this story doesn't scare me as much as her calling a treadmill a treadmill. Sort that out. Why is she calling it a treadmill? I mean, it doesn't terrify me that it started on its own. I feel like that's such a thing that it would do.
In the 1900s, children in an unnamed rural town began to go missing, and people were blaming it on the Candy Lady. The story says that she would go around leaving candy on children's window sills, and she would be able to lure them in by leaving notes promising more candy. This story picked up steam when a farmer found rotted teeth on his farm and eventually found the dead body of a boy with candy stuffed in his pocket. While little is known about the origin of this story, many claim that the candy lady is real and her name was Clara Crane.
That's creepy. Isn't this... Someone would leave candy on the windowsill, it'd be laced with something, and then the kids would die. Isn't that the whole thing? There's so many different variations of this story, or even like people hiding razor blades in candy, stuff like that. But never accept candy from strangers. Ever.
In 2010, a man named Sam Ballard was dared by his drunk friends to eat a slug.
Oh, that was Miley.
And so he did. Little did he know the slug gave him a parasite, which made him paralyzed and sick. He stayed this way for 8 years till 2018, when he was 28. The sickness became too much for him, and he died.
Oh my god, don't listen to your friends. Friends are stupid sometimes. If someone dares you to eat a slug, don't do it. That's disgusting. You shouldn't eat anything like that, because yeah, it can f you right up. Oh, that poor guy. Horrible. Don't put anything in your mouth where you don't know where it's from. Let alone a slug. Why would you eat a slug? I don't want to eat anything.
There was a teenage boy who was walking around a park one day when he suddenly heard a voice screaming for help, but there was nobody around him. The boy was very frightened and didn't know what was happening. The screaming sounded like it was coming from underneath the ground, but the boy did not know for sure. The screaming still continued, so he called the police. When the police arrived, they heard the screaming too, and also believed it was coming from underneath the ground. The police officers then got shovels and began digging into the ground, and what they found left them all frozen. There was a container with a girl in it, buried underground. The girl was badly beaten and bloody. They then asked her what happened, and she said a man kidnapped and beat her, then buried her alive.
That's one of my worst fears, being buried alive. Because you're f***ed. You're just going to suffocate so slowly as well. It's not going to be a pleasant death. That's horrible.
She propped her phone on a shelf, turned on some music, and then hopped in the shower. A few minutes later, she reaches for her phone to change the song, but stops suddenly. Reflected on her phone's screen was a person standing in the middle of her bathroom facing the shower. She somehow kept her composure, turned the water to scalding hot, and then ripped open the curtain and sprayed the intruder in the face. As they howled in pain, she ran past them to her kitchen to get her butcher's knife. In a panic, she can't find her knife, so she just runs out of the apartment and calls the police. The police go in and come out with a crazy-looking woman in handcuffs. One of the officers comes over to the girl and says she used to live here and she had copies of your keys.
Well, that's terrifying. Can you imagine just taking a shower and then someone shows up, you live alone and there's someone waiting, watching. Always have a knife while you shower, just in case.
The game was called Polybius. It was released in 1981 at arcades in Portland, Oregon. Polybius became very popular. It was extremely addictive, and people would wait in very long lines just to play it. However, there is something very sinister about the game. People playing would experience very strange things, such as hearing the sound of a woman screaming, crying, and seeing demonic faces out of the corner of their eyes, and messages coming across the screen saying things like "kill yourself." After playing the game, people would have horrible nightmares, others experienced extreme nausea, diarrhea and vomiting, and others got headaches and blacked out. Also, they hallucinated and got vertigo.
Yeah, I've heard about this. I've actually spoken about this on Top 5 many times. People got so sick playing the game, and then there were rumors that Men in Black came in to collect data from the game. I think it was a real game, but the reason as to why it was removed is something else. But I don't even know the real story at this point because it's been so twisted with time. But yeah, the theory was that someone may have even died after playing the game. I'm not sure though. I don't know what's real. It's just creepy.
Ik zal je toeschudden, maar ik ben aan de pik niet meer gezien. We gaan kijken gaan.
Oh wait. Did I see what I think I saw? Someone behind him when he got up?
Ik zal je toeschudden, maar ik ben aan de pik niet meer gezien.
And then when he gets up, someone right there. Ooh! Ooh! That's creepy. It was like someone was sat down next to him, but they weren't. It was a spirit rising up right after him. That was scary. I didn't like the way it just stood up as well. It was like it was sat underneath him. Oh, that.
We can see something peeking out into the spotlight.
Yeah, no
It appears to be a person's head, but we don't quite get a good enough look at who or what that was to say for sure.
It just looks like a black mass. It doesn't even look like a person. I can't make out a shape or a face. It just looks like a black form shifting. Why are you even taking the time to stop and film that? If I saw that emerging from behind a tree, yeet out of there.
सीसीटीवी कैमरे की इस रिकॉर्डिंग ने क्या कैच कर लिया।
Ooh.
एक इंसान बाइक से आता है, उसको कोई सफेद कपड़े में दिखती है और वो रुक जाता है, फिर इधर-उधर देखता है और क्या देखता है जरा ध्यान से देखिए।
Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, that was a lot of a lot. I didn't scream, but it was a lot of a lot. The guy was on his little motorbike, and there was a ghostly figure in the road, disappeared, then came back to try and kill him, to try and yeet him. Oh, he shouldn't have even stopped. Just go right through her. Just kidding, just kidding. No, he shouldn't have stopped. He should have just kept going as soon as it disappeared. It's a creepy video already.
दरवाजा खुला
Ooh.
और इसके पैर कोई हवा में उड़ाने लगा।
Ooh.
जरा ध्यान से देखिए कौन है जो इसके पैर हवा में उड़ा रहा है और इसको खींचते हुए।
How is he not awake at this point? Oh my god.
एकदम से इसने अपने पैर हिलाना शुरू किए और झटक के उठ गया और इसे विश्वास नहीं हो रहा
How's his friend not
था कि
awake?
इसके साथ क्या हुआ, ये कैसे सरक कर आगे आ गया।
That is horrible. That's like Paranormal Activity where the covers slowly come up and then your legs start slowly moving and then you're out of the bed, you're down the hallway and you're in hell. That's how that ends. That guy's lucky he woke up. But he's lucky that it stopped. He could have been, bye, see you later. Oh my god, what's happening? Oh my god. Oh, just drive, just drive. Is that a mermaid? What? No. What is that? Just drive, reverse. Oh my god, it's gonna start running. What is that? Oh, it looks kind of like that, is it a creepypasta or the urban legend, the Teki Teki? Where she's just on her hands and she's got no lower body, she's just torso, arms, and then she moves like that. That's what that looks like. At the end, I can't make out the lower half of the body. It looked like a mermaid at first. That, why is he even stopping? Reverse, move, go. Speed away.
So weird.
Okay, when he turns around. Right there, there's someone there, there's someone there. It looks like The Grudge.
So expect with this is like
It looks like The Grudge.
really strange stuff going on right now.
These are why
One of the objects.
urban explorers, they're risking their lives for us, for entertainment. I could never go urban exploring. I'd think I would die. My heart would be beating as soon as I walked into an abandoned building. I can't. I don't want to go anywhere abandoned or anywhere during nighttime or just anywhere really. I just like to stay inside in my own home. What am I looking at? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Are they just frozen? Huh? What's happened? Did they just it felt like they just left this dimension and just went to an alternate dimension. There were two people, from what I could tell, were walking towards us and then they froze and then they just disappeared into nowhere. What the hell happened there? That was a really confusing video. It doesn't make any sense to me. All I know is there was one guy that was walking up to them, was like, hello, and they were just like...
Immediately to the left of the desk, a small dark figure seems to appear out of thin air.
Yeah?
It walks
looks
past the desk and out of the
real
view
life
of the camera.
goblin sighting. Keegan would
If you
be
slow
so
the footage
happy.
down, you can see that the figure also appears to be somewhat transparent.
It looks like Dobby or a goblin. Looks like Dobby the free elf. He's a free elf. He's got his sock. He's on the move. He's leaving. He doesn't need to stay anymore. He's got Harry's dirty sock. Ooh.
As the car speeds along, a haggard woman in a white dress can be seen on top of the barrier divide.
The guy didn't go, he went
She has
hard.
a grey, ghostly face and long black hair, all too common features of the supernatural entity known as the Lady in White.
I like that we can't even really make out her face, but he went hard right off the bat. He was like, you can see this haggard woman in the middle of the road. You can't even see her face. I don't think she's haggard. She looks alright to me. Wouldn't say no. Just kidding. I'll get yelled at. That's scary. That's scary. She clearly died in that road. 100%. Car, her, dead. Now she haunts the road and tries to lure innocent victims to their death. That's how it goes all the time. If I died in a tragic way, you know I would lure other people to their death in the same way.
A few moments into the clip, two shadowy black shapes pass in front of the camera.
Yeah, no. That's it.
The way the figures seem to glide certainly has some viewers wondering if they could actually be ghosts of former soldiers, still lingering around the battlefield.
Interesting. I couldn't tell if the noise when the shadows went by with the shadows or like a wind outside, but it sounded like when someone moves really fast. Just like that. Dead soldiers. It is what it is. That's creepy. I don't like those. I feel like only houses in America have these. In the UK, we don't have this. Like, I don't know what it is. It's like under the home. A crawl space under the house. I don't understand why you have it or what's it for. But people always are under it and it freaks me out.